Yes, everyone who's wanted to come in is in, and we are also live on YouTube in 30 seconds.
Wonderful. I don't think so. So, hello people, whoever has joined in. Just a few of the instructions that we are giving. We're very happy to announce that Vada Dastoor is already with us. And we are ready to roll now. First and foremost, may I ask all of you to kindly put your hands together for this wonderful gentleman who's coming to us live all the way from Vada. Thank you, Dasturji, for being with all of us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Gentlemen, we've already got a list, gentlemen and ladies, we've already have a list of questions that were asked. Some have come in advance. But if in fact you have any questions during the course of this meeting, do send a WhatsApp to Ratan, who will then either pose the question or put you on live to talk to Dasturji if he finds the question is correct and good enough. Okay, Dasturji has very kindly agreed to answer all our questions, unless they are of controversial nature or something which he wouldn't wish to get into. If you all are aware of the background, but it's that as Parsis, we spare nobody. We voice our opinions on everyone. And unfortunately, our Dasturji too, Vada Dastoor too, has been a sad target of some very vicious social attacks, which is absolutely wrong. So we hold you in the highest possible esteem, and we do absolutely oppose anything to do with the bad mouthing of any of our priests. We please reassure you on behalf of all Calcutta Parsis that we have done nothing but the highest respect for all the priests. So may we start then, sir?
Yes, sure.
We have some questions over here. Cyrus Merji was the first person who asked a question.
Yes, yes.
He said that somewhere long ago, and also I have been told by some Dastoor Sahibs that there's the prediction that says Zatosti Deen will revive after 1400 years. Sir, would you like to comment on this?
Yeah, I'll just take up the questions. But first and foremost, hello and good evening to each and everyone. It's nice to be with the people of Calcutta. Welcome to the abode of Iransha. I'm there here stuck in Udwada with the lockdown and have a good opportunity. And we are actually using our time so positively. This whole scenario, what we are facing today of the coronavirus and lockdown and everything, actually gives us a sense that there is some force, there is someone who is controlling us. In the heat of the moment and in our daily life, I think we had kept the minimum time for God, minimum time for prayers. So I think this is a signal or a wake-up call that we need those blessings of Aura Mazda or Lord or whosoever each and every mankind believes in. This is the time when prayers are very important, where prayers will help you. I'm not saying that prayers will help you not to have the COVID or something, but they will help you to have your peace of mind, to get relaxed, and to know the power of God. We praise Aura Mazda, who is omnipotent, who is omnipresent, who is everything. Our prophet Zarathustra, Iransha, we have Yazats, Ameshaspans. But in all this hustle of life, somewhere or the other, we forgot everything. People never had the time to do the kasti properly. People never gave the time to thank God properly. So is it that God wanted to teach us a lesson? I don't think so. But being ungrateful for all the good things which we had in our life, this is a lesson by itself that we should devote certain time with the family to thank the Almighty. We here at Iransha pray for everybody's good health. We pray not only for our Parsi community, we pray for each and every one. And I sincerely bless each and every one of the community and the humankind that you all will be blessed and stay healthy with your dear ones. Coming to the question of Cyrus Merji, that somebody told by some Dastoor Sahib that a prediction says that Zarathustra din will revive after 1400 years. Now, which 1400 years we are talking about? We are here in the Yazdazadi 1389. So another 11 years we are going to wait. These are all, you can say, the stories or some kind of a prediction done by men. But till then what? Say if it is 1500 years, say it is 1600 years. So do we wait for somebody to come and shake us up? And we just sit tight together and say that, okay, it will be revived after 1400 years, so we don't have to do anything? No. As a Zartushti, as a Parsi, our first duty is to see that we follow the principles of good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. We have to take up the challenge and to see that what can we do a little bit to revive our own religion at this point of time. Whenever that the myths are there that Shah Behram Warzawan will come, he was supposed to come in 2000, he was supposed to come in 2010, 11, 15, 17, 21. Whenever he comes, he comes. It's a jackpot for us. But till that time, remember, we have to survive. We have to follow those practices which has been taught to us, which has been inclined in us, and we have to practice our religion. Shall we move to the next question?
Yes, sir, very well put. Thank you for those wonderful thoughts and the beautiful beginning talk that you gave us. I think it reassures us all at this particular time of distress, and we are all staying at home. And I think it will help us all to reorient our lives. Thank you for those words. The second question he asks is, please enlighten me on the concept of Viswane Katu.
Hamastegan. Hamastegan and Viswanagat, that's the place when a person dies and his soul travels to the realm of God. As we all know, there is heaven and hell. The soul itself chooses that what he has done, it is his karma, his karni, what he has done in this world. And the soul goes according to heaven and hell. But for those who are balanced, who have not done enough, who has done good and evil, both things are equal. The soul which remains on that realm is known as Hamastegan. So neither your good side is up, neither your bad side is up. It's both is equal. And there we set in as Hamastegan. We go to the third question.
So the third question is written, I believe references on the various Zarathustri scriptures point to the idea of rebirth.
I don't think that any of the scholars who have studied up till now our Zoroastrian religion has anywhere mentioned about rebirth or reincarnation in our Zoroastrian religion. Though we find very vaguely in one or two places, for example, in the Uthamna Duk Dirang, we say Bi ayan, Agarna ayan, Guzar Gumet, Mer Fragyor. But as such, there is no way that a soul is reincarnated and we are born again. Because according to Gathas also, the soul goes to the hell where he realizes and from where he has to transform himself and learn from his mistakes and try to bring up his soul to the world of Garudeman. So according to the Zoroastrian scriptures or anything, we don't believe in reincarnation or rebirth. Coming to the last question of Frashokereti. This is the question which is related to our souls. That those souls who are there in hell, those souls who have done enough evil things on this planet, never got the chance to come out. All these souls will be enlightened and they will come to the stage of Auratat and Ameretat. And that will be the final resurrection where the whole atmosphere will be completely changed. Frashokereti means new beginning, a fresh beginning. So this is what, there will be a new beginning to the entire world, where there will be only, again, starting right from the scratch level, where everything will be good. Everything will be new. There will be no pass-ons. And that will be a long, that is what we think about Frashokereti. Okay, Chief, can we move to the next question, please? By
Ajay. The next is by Indrani Anklaselia. In cities and places where there is a tower of silence and cremation takes place, the complete set of prayers are not said. However, in cities or places where there is no tower of silence and someone is cremated, all prayers are said and all rituals observed. Why is this so? As in both cases, the same process of cremation is taking place.
Indrani, I don't think that your question is right, because as far as I know, that where there is the document where the cremation takes place, the prayers are done. The Gesarnu is done completely. I don't think that there is any shortcuts in that or any that set of prayers are not said. Only thing that there are priests who refuse to do the cremation prayers. We give them their right, but those who do, they do the complete set of prayers. But after the 4th day ceremony, I think each and every Agyari does all the normal set of prayers. So whether that you cremate yourself or you go to Tower of Silence, your prayers are done. And I think that's only one place in Bombay where you will find the Dokmenashini and the cremation. I think it's in Bangalore, the burial is there and the Dokmenashini is there. But I think even in Bombay where the cremation is done, they do the set of prayers, they do the Uthamna, they do everything at the cremation or at their home or residence or wherever it is. So in either case, I think this question is a bit, if it is something particular, I could have mentioned it, but I don't think so. The prayers are done completely for both the things. And it's up to each individual that how he wants to go, whether he wants to go for cremation or he wants to go for Dokmenashini. As far as I myself will concern, I'll go for Dokmenashini. But obvious, finding it a very, still, I think the another question is coming up in the later on where I'll be telling about this thing. But I think the prayers are done properly, Indrani. We move to the next question, please.
Next question is by Jahan Mehta. Isn't Zoroastrianism a religion for the world, wherein we believe that Ahura Mazda is the creator of everything? If this is correct, why are we not more open about our religion Why do we restrict access to our religious places? And why do we not openly discuss and educate ourselves and others about our religion? After all, as Zoroastrians, we believe that everything and hence everybody is a creation of Vada Mazda.
Well, Jan, it's no open secret that all the scholars of our religion are Western scholars. So our religion is not a secret. And our religion has been taught in US, UK, Germany. We have got more libraries. We have got more documents. We have got more programs going on in other countries rather than in India. As far as restriction to religious places are concerned, the concept which I believe in, I think, is that after we came to India, we came here defeated by Arabs. We were lost hope. We just had to preserve our religion. We were there in a land where the king granted us an asylum. We never wanted to hurt the king by transforming or converting the religious, for the subject to be converted into our religion. So we had this place of worship. And second most important thing is that we just don't bring a stone or we just don't bring a murti and just keep it and say this is a fire temple. Our fire temples are consecrated. Our Atash Bairam has got 16 different types of fires. Each fire goes under the process of Yashna and Vanida. And it takes a period of, with 4 or 6 morbets, that is 2 or 3 pairs, it will take a period of around about 1.5 years to consecrate a fire temple at the grade of Atash Bairam. Even for the Agyaris, we have 4 different types of fires and the process takes a long way. We know how to go and enter into the fire temple. We don't want others to come into the fire temple at that particular time, at that particular moment when we came to India. We were very much afraid and scared that if we try to change the subject to our religion, we will be driven out. We were very small in numbers. So that became a tradition. And but obvious, there are certain practices like once you enter the fire temple, you have to wash your face, you have to do a Kushti Padya ceremony, and then you go, which definitely we only know, the others don't know about it. And that has kept us in a place where we cannot say that it's absolutely excluded. There are temples, Hindu temples, where non-Hindus are not allowed. The Christians are not allowed in Vatican Rome in particular place. Only Catholics are allowed. There are in Makkah, Medina, only the Muslims are allowed. So with that respect, we have our places of worship, which we would like to keep it with maximum piety. We move to next one.
Yes, there's a second question of his. Would you consider other monotheistic religions similar to Zoroastrianism, since they too speak about one creator of the universe? It is just that different people call the creator by different names. In which case, why can't we take the lead in bringing together people of different communities closer together, highlighting the similarities rather than the differences?
Definitely, there are other monotheistic religions. Our Zoroastrianism was the first monotheistic religion brought to this world. And I would, for one, would like to say that we respect all the religion.
Yes.
We don't try to differentiate between any religion. We will definitely like to bring the communities together. We always have to highlight the positive things in our life. We don't have to create a rift between anybody, amongst any community. But at the same time, we have our own this thing that we stay in our home. We will not allow everybody to come inside. we will have our home. Same way, everybody has their own homes. So let us keep the discipline of our home, that we respect our neighbor, whosoever he is, he stays in there. And definitely, we have to spread our religion. We have to spread the thoughts of our religion. There is nothing wrong in it. But we don't spread our religion in the wrong manner.
Mm-hmm.
And our religion never teaches to degrade anybody, not only the religion, but not even a mankind or a human being. We have to respect everybody, to each their own thoughts, to each, we give that freedom. That is what the basic idea is of our religion. Okay, Jan? Well.
Thank you, Dasturji. Next is Kaisar Rabadi, who has a personal request. It's his wife's birthday today. So if ever you have a chance to say a small tandurusti for her for Beden Gita Rabadi, he would be delighted.
We'll do that. We'll do that, sure, Kaisar. And which hotel serves the best in Udwara? I don't eat in a hotel in Udwara, so I don't know which hotel serves the best dansak. I eat at my place, and I know my dansak is the best at my place.
So, sir, aapne bata abhi just to get it.
Sure, you're most welcome. You're most
Kushrum Aibara writes, what is the history behind our three calendars, Shahansai, Fasli, and Kadmi, and why are they different?
Coming to the very first calendar, the Shahansai calendar. Shahansai, meaning the king. In Iran, there was a practice that whenever a new king was coronated, crowned, the calendar started from that particular day. So what we are following, the Yazdezardi, 1389, that is the date when the last king of Iran, King Yazdezard, was coronated and crowned as the king. And when we came to India, we followed that calendar and we called it as a Shahansai calendar. The followers of the king Yazdezard. Round about 200 to 250 years back, Velati brothers, Jamas and Jamshed Velati, came from Iran, and they said that the month which you are following is 1 month behind than what the calendar is in Iran. So certain people in Bharuch and Surat started to follow this Kadmi calendar, which the high priest of our community that time there were 16 to 20 high priests in the community. Today we are unfortunately left with only 5. So all the high priests declined to follow that calendar. But few people agreed and they started following this calendar. And it was named as a Kadmi calendar, means Kadmi means Kadim, the old and ancient followers. Okay. So the Shahansai becomes the follower of the king class. The Kadim becomes the follower of the old ancient religion. And then last 125 years back or so, in late 1800s and early 1900s, it was one Mr. Pandey who thought that our calendar should be matching according to the season of Iran and according to the season of India. And that is how the Fasli calendar started. Well, the Fasli calendar was actually the Jalali calendar, which is followed in Iran. And it was Jalaluddin Malik Shah in Iran, some 500 years back, who started this calendar to start the year from 21st March to collect the taxes. You can say that was the financial year for the Iran.
Wow.
So that is how this third calendar of Fasli started. And that was the recent one. We all think that why there are two, we are not considering leap year and why the New Year's is always changing, but that used to change even in Iran. But in Iran, after 120 years, we used to do a kabisa for 1 month. And that used to bring again the calendar together. But again, after 4 years, it started changing. Unfortunately, after we came to India, we lost a track of those kabisa. And that is how nobody knew that when that 120 years happened. And that's how we left doing the kabisa.
Wow.
So this is how the difference of this 21st March and this started. And these are the basic principles of the 3 calendars. Can we move to Prochi's question?
Thank you. Yes. Prochi's question is, can you tell us about the work you are doing to promote religious tourism at Vada?
Well, Prochi, I'm not trying to promote religious tourism, but fortunately, with the blessings of the government and after Mr. Modi visited as a chief minister in 2011 to Vada, the infrastructure of Vada changed quite a bit. He was very helpful and he always held Parsi community in a very high regards. And he said that Udvada has to be a place of harmony and tolerance. You must have heard his opening speech when he first became the Prime Minister. Even there he mentioned about Udvada, that we as Indians and we as Hindus have taken care of the whole civilization which came from Iran. And he always takes a pride in our community, that it's our community who has never asked for anything. And on the contrary, has always contributed everything for this country. And due to that, today, almost all the infrastructure work in Vada has been completed. The electricity, the roads. Now, the one major thing which we would like to complete is of the sewage system, which is in the pipeline. Second question about Houston declared September 9 is Dasturji Khurshed Day. Well, I was in Houston that time and I had the meeting and discussion about how to start the new Darbe Mehr, which they wanted to start. And I had a couple of lecture series over there. And I think due to that, I was being conferred this Dasturji Khurshed Day by them. Even I was surprised about it. But that took the initiative which they took, that in last year on 21st March 2019, we inaugurated Bhandara Darbe Mehr in Houston, which is the first Darbe Mehr outside Asian country, like after India and Pakistan, to keep the fire burning for 24 hours. And up till now, after a year or so, they are quite successful about it. The Morbeds are doing voluntary services and the Houston community is contributing towards everything. And so far, things are going very good and they are following their Darbe Mehr and they are very happy with it. Well, the Calcutta participation in Iran Saud Vada Utsav, you all are most welcome. Next time when I do the Iran Shah Utsav, I will definitely keep in mind and inform you that how you want to participate in it. We will definitely do it. It will be in December, so be ready for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
And then
the fourth question.
Yes.
The fourth question, yeah.
About the economic condition and lack of religious knowledge of our priest as president and trustee of the Arpanan Mandal. So today, the situation in our community has been very, we are not having a good picture about the priesthood. But let me tell you very honestly, that community never cared for the priest. Right from the day we came to India, the priesthood was always taken down as a second-grade profession. Like, there was no proper respect for the priest. There were no financial benefits for the priest. A priest never retires. He retires when he is lying on his death stone. There was no provident fund, no gratuity, nobody, no schemes. To be very honest, since 1970, when I was studying in Vada Institute, there were so many people with so many schemes must have come to Dadar in Madrasa, later on in their life to my father, and then to me. But up till now, as a community, we have not succeeded in any of a priestly class, trust, or a fund which can take care of the mobbings. Though as Athonan Mandal, we are helping and encouraging mobbings now. We started the fund along with WZO, Dinsha Tamboli, Athonan Mandal, jointly to encourage the young mobbings to do the mobbedy along with their studies, along with their graduation, and we pay them from 3,000 to, it's a very small amount, but that's an encouragement which we have started for the youngsters to carry on this priestly class. You will be surprised that there are hardly 500 priests in India left now. From that, around 200 must be above the age of 65. And there are very less youngsters who want to follow this priesthood. The reasons are, as I said, there are no financial securities. So the youngster will go and work in the call center and not do the priesthood. Though he will earn much more in the priesthood, but there is no security, as I said. You are paid on daily basis. Yeah, there are panthakis, there are who have made a good fortune from the priesthood also. But majority, I fear it's not done. There are so many cases where the priest who is working for 30 years, 40 years, his salary is 14,000, 15,000. The trust says we cannot afford it. Is it the priest's fault that the trust cannot afford to raise the money? It is not his fault. He is serving as a trustee. It's your fault that you should generate the income for the trust and see that your priest is quite happy. Today, what are you going to give the priest in 15,000 and 20,000 rupees? We are all staying in today's world where 20,000 rupees, you just can't make the ends meet if you have a family. We are trying our best, and we have got in Athonan Institute right now 25 students who are going through the training of the priestly class. We take care of them. We give them absolutely free education. Free. There is no burden on the parents as long as they are in madrasa. The community is kind enough to look after them. We have got funds and we will definitely, but the main problem is that after they leave the madrasa, will they continue to do the mobbedy? That depends on the community. Because the community has to take a call. And I think slowly this realization is coming and people are working on it. But it's still, as I say, it's still, they are still working. Results have not been come out.
Wow.
And what will you get? Ultimately, I have to come and beg. I'm a priest. Give me the money. Give me the dole. The people say you are staying on dole. So young person who has just come out will not like to stay like this. Give him respect. Give him the things the community has to think about it.
Very good point, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Rohinton Babicon asks, is the system of Dokma Nishini still relevant today, when in most cities we have accepted burial or cremation with bodies of our near ones who may have died from diseases which would be a hazard to the environment? Would it not, as per our religion, based on nature and environment, be prudent to find a safer, more modern and human method of consignment of our departed? As a small community, why are we so divided that we are not allowed choices such as these?
If you ask me, the Dokmenashini system, as far as I can say, is still relevant, and I feel it is still, for me, the best system. All the system has its flaws. Where you say that there are hazardous environment, and we, by doing the cremation, do you think that you're not polluting the environment? The soot coming out from the burning of the corpse are carcinogenous, and it has been proved. When you bury the body, it's going to remain there and decay inside. You are again polluting the environment. We may not have the vultures, but believe me, just as a living person, if I'm told to go and sleep in the Dakma, where I can see the world moving around. Second, if I give you oxygen and I bury you inside the earth, how do you feel inside? Just realize it. Or I keep you in a furnace to burn yourself. Imagine, what will you prefer? To burn, to be buried in underground, or to just lie around in the well? Well, my choice is very clear. I would like to lie around. But our system is still working with Khurshed Nagirasni. Why are we doubting our systems? There are people who say that you remove the body from the Dokma, you will find this, that. You remove the body from the earth. You stop the furnace half in between and you remove the body. If the whole process is not completed, you will still find it. The choice is yours. How you want to go. Nobody is forcing you nowadays. You have got sets of people where there are cremation also, where there's Dokmenashini also. But as far as I would like to follow and I would like to teach, is the principle of Dokmenashini is still relevant, it's still good, and it's still working. It's a slow process, but it's a good environmental process.
Young Varun Anklaseria asks, will we ever see a Dasturji in India?
Female Dasturji. You can see so many females in India. When they not to take care of the good Dasturjis for the good Morbeds, how are you going to take care of the good female Dasturjis?
True, sir.
The practice of being it's not compulsory to be a Morbed to do the ceremony. There is basically somewhere we have lost a track. As a Bedin, as a female, you are allowed to do all the ceremonies. You are allowed to pray Setum no Kardo. You are allowed to pray Afargan. You are allowed to pray Farokshi. You are allowed to do so many things except for the religious ceremonies inside the fire temple. When we have got so many Morbeds, why don't we take care of them? That's the principle. And about the female priest, there are other problems also. That how will you make a female priest? At what age? How she will go through the ablutions? How she will go through the barashnum? All those things are there. Let us practice what is being followed by tradition, which will help us to keep our community together. The last one.
Then Xerxes Anthracelia asks, that's the father. If Prophet Zarathustra himself converted people to believing in his teachings and to follow Zoroastrian religion, then why is it we do not allow conversion?
As I told you in starting also, whom did Prophet Zarathustra convert? They were the Mazdaean, the followers of the Mazdaean religion. But due to so many evil things in the world, the black magic, the sorcery, it is Geu Shurwa, the mother cried to Aura Mazda that relieve my soul. This is not what I wanted on earth. Send me someone who can bring peace in this world, who can bring good, positive thing in this world. And that's how Zarathustra came. And that's why when we pray Jasame Avanka Mazda, we pray Mazdayashno me. And then we say Mazdayashno Zarathustra. So the first monotheist religion was of Prophet Zarathustra. And anyhow, we did rule Iran. The 5 dynasties ruled Iran. We had once upon a time the state religion of Zoroastrianism running in Iran. But after we came to India, do you think if we would have started converting people, do you think that king would have allowed us to stay over here? And we were such a small group in such a small number, and we are still in such a small number. We have lost our whole identity. There were groups which went to China, there were groups which went to Germany, and because of this conversions and all, they never survived. Luckily, we survived, and we survived for 1300 years. In the Iran Shah will be celebrating its Iran Shah Salgiri on Adar Mahina, Adar Roj on 21st April, and we'll be completing 1289 years. 1289 years, yes. Sorry, 1299 years. So take a pride of what we have and what our forefathers have given it to us. Let us, in all the institutions, whatever we have amongst ourselves, let us see that if we can't do something more, let us preserve what our forefathers has given it to us. If you want numbers, if you want to open the doors, there are both pros and cons. Either we will be totally wiped out. That is the one major thing. As it is, I'm very sorry to say, how are we following and practicing our Zoroastrian religion? Each has got its own set of mind. How many of us wear Sudre Kusti? How many of us do Kasti once in a day? How many of us follow the principle of basic good thoughts, words, and deeds? We have kept all those things aside. We are worrying about numbers. Yes, it is to be worried. We are now less than 50,000. We will be, in this census, will be, I don't know what figures will be coming out. But the last census, it was 57,000. And being sitting in Delhi as in a minority cell, I see that it's a decline every year by 8% almost. And it's a time to worry. It's a time to think. But it's really a question mark that how are we going to survive after the century?
Dasturji said the second part to Xerxes' question is, the Catholics have a pope who is the final authority. Do we have something like that? Or is every fire temple allowed to make their own rules to suit themselves?
No, it's not that every fire temple make their own rules. We have 5 discourses: the Sanjanas, the Bagariyas, the Godauras, and it was divided territory-wise. And we Udwara the 9 families, and it's the Anjuman, it's the Panth that selects the high priest. Mostly it is hereditary from father to son. Like I am the 21st descendant as a Dastoor in my family of Udwara. Same way in Surat, Navsari, everywhere it is hereditary, except for Bombay, Wadiyaji, Atashperam, where the trustees appoint. And it is not that we follow the rules according to each and every fire temple. No. There are sets of rules which is followed. There may be a little bit of difference here and there, but it's not the completely different sets of rules for each and every carry. We are there. Unfortunately, there is no Pope or no Catholic style that only one person dictates a term. But the 5 Dasturjis who we are there right now also, we talk with each other, we discuss with each other if anything is there. And we always share and then we come out of any issues are there. I think that completes my email questions of today.
Yes. My granddaughter Samara has posed a question. She's too shy to ask herself. But she wanted to know, as a Dasturji, what are the sacrifices you have to make and what are the commitments you need to make to be a Dastoor?
Well, I wish I would have told my daughter to give that answer. Well, there are lots of sacrifices. And as you say, to gain something, you have to sacrifice something. The sacrifice first thing comes is, I'm not allowed. It's not that I'm not allowed, but then you have to always be dressed in white with the pagri and dagli and everything. If I wear a shirt pant, there'll be a chaos around everywhere. So basically, from that stature, after my father expired, when I was going around like with coloring clothes and all of a sudden switched to the white. My daughter always asks me, why don't you wear the jeans and everything now? And she was too young that time. So there are the little bit of sacrifices. But as a whole, there are no such huge sacrifices which you make as a Dastoor. It's how you see it. It's how you take it. But always there are brickbacks which comes to you. But then that's the part and parcel of life. Where once you are in public, there are people who will like you. There are people who will dislike you. You have to face out of that thing and just go on. That's life. But whatever said, I'm proud today to be a part of this community, wonderful community. And I'm more proud to be a Dasturji of Iran Shah. The fire that is burning since last 1209 years. The fire which has blessed the community, which has looked after the community. Why you are calling it as Iran Shah? Because after we came to India, we knew that there won't be any king who will be ruling on us. We will not be having some individual to keep over there, that you are the king and you will be leading us. So this fire, which was consecrated in Sanjan by Dasturji Nairoshan Dawal, said that he will be our guidance. He will be our Lord.
Oh.
Iran Shah means the king of Iran. And I'm so fortunate that I'm born in the 9th family of Udwada and Juman, so I can serve Iran Shah. And I'm proud again to be a Dastoor of Iran. So whatever sacrifices are there, that's immaterial.
Dastoorji said, we're all equally proud that you are there for us.
No, it's
We're
a
very,
pleasure.
very happy that you are there to lead our community.
That's my pleasure.
We've got some questions all the way from London. Charmeen is what I mean. And she says, she has 3 questions. What is the best prayer to say first thing in the morning?
The first thing when you get up from your bed, as soon as your foot touches the ground, it's the Hashem Vahu. You have to recite the Hashem Vahu prayer. It is said that one Hashem Vahu prayed early in the morning, it's equal to 10,000 Hashem Vahus prayed in a day. So the first thing, whenever you get down, it's the Hashem Vahu prayer. Your day starts with Hashem Vahu, your day ends with Hashem Vahu.
Oh, okay. She asks, what is the significance of the Hormuz Yast and when is the best time to pray it?
You can pray Hormuz Yast any time of the day. But if she must have heard my last Hambandagi, where I prayed the 70 names of Dada Auramazda himself, which is there written in Hormuz Yast, where he says that I am the protector, where he's describing himself in all the 70 forms. And the Hormuz Yast is very powerful Yast by itself. And it is clearly written in Hormuz Yast that Dada Auramazda says, who prays this 70 names of mine loudly, I will be there to help him and guide him every time. That's the significance of the Hormuz Yast.
And the third question she asks is, what are the prayers that you say daily after your bath?
After your bath, the first thing the community has lost the idea of is that you have to do 2 kastis after the bath. Now, even Numi is turning his it's around.
Surprise.
The first, yeah, because you cannot pray anything unless you have a kasti on your body. So after the bath, but obviously the kasti is not there. So normally the people just keep kasti on the shoulder and start praying Kamna Mazda, which is a wrong concept. The kasti starts after the bath from Auramazda Kudai, ends at Jashame Avangamazda. Then you have to wash your face, hands, and start the kasti from Kamna Mazda. And that is the whole kasti. And then you start praying your Farajiyat. That is Sharosh Baj, Havange, Khurshed, Mer, Visko, Matanam, Satasni, Fine, Yash, Yas, whatever you want to do. So after the bath, this is the correct procedure, how you start your day and how you start your prayers.
Oh, okay. So we've got a question here. In Calcutta, we are supposed to follow the Bugarsat sect. Can you tell us about this sect?
Bagarsat sect. It's not Bugarsat.
Bagarsat, yeah. No, yes.
Bagarsat is the sect of the Navsari clan. The Maubets from the Navsari was known as Bagariyas. Bagariyas means those who divide their things. Bag. Jeloke parts kita, jeloke portions kita. Their Bagarsat means they have got 5 poles. The Desai, the Polya, the 5 poles are there in Navsari. And those 5 poles are known as, combined together, are known as Bagariyas. So it's a Bagarsat Anjuman.
Bagarsat. Okay.
And during, I think, the establishment of your Calcutta Agyari, the Maubets from Navsari must have come and done the ritual. So that is how they follow what the Bagarsat Anjumans.
Dasturji Sahib, can you tell us about the story behind the fire being taken from Navsari to Udwada?
Well, after staying in Sanjan for almost 700 years, and during the invasion of Muhammad Begra, when we lost the war along with the Hindu king, and we had to take care of our Iran Shah, we went to the mountains of Barot. We stayed there for 12 years. But it was quite on a very height, and it was difficult to transport and come and go up and down every day. So after the political environment got stable, we moved from Barot to Vada. Vada again, we were staying in a jungle, and we stayed there for almost 14 years. People, by that time, when we were there in Sanjan, the Parsis started moving to Navsari, Bharuch, Surat, Khambat, and the community started flourishing, the community started growing in all these places. So when we were there in Vada, a philanthropist named Changa Shah from Navsari used to come to give respect to Iran. So he once asked the people of the Vada Anjuman, that time it was not Vada Anjuman, but those who were caretakers of Iran Shah, that why don't you bring now Iran Shah to Navsari, where it will be respected by more people, where it will be worshipped by more people, and it will be easy for people to come and pay their respect to Iran Shah. Because Vada also became, it was absolutely in a jungle and a hilly area. So after all the discussions and everything, that time the Navsari also had its own set of Mobids who were practicing over there. So after certain agreements and all, the Iran Shah was shifted to Navsari. In Navsari, between Navsari and Surat, we stayed there for 350 years, keeping Iran Shah over there. Then there was discrepancies between the priestly class of Navsari and the caretakers of Iran Shah. And that led that we wanted to shift our Iran Shah back to Sanjan. And while doing that, we found the place. We took the permission of Damajirao Gaikwad. There were lots of infighting. There were lots of problems within the community. And ultimately, we left Navsari and we came to Balsar. We stayed there for 2 years. And from Balsar, we came to Vada. And we are here since last 278 years. We came to Vada in 1742 on Roch Khordad Ma Farvating. And since then, the Iran Shah is here in this place.
There's a question from Darius Tamboli. What are the privileges for our community's youngsters regarding admissions in professional colleges, as you are currently a representative member of our community in the current administration in New Delhi?
There are no privileges. Unfortunately, we lost everything. But I have already given a petition to the government where I have literally marked out 11 colleges between Mumbai and Pune, where all these colleges came up from the funds and philanthropy of our community. So instead of asking for reservation, I have asked for that I want a donor's seat. I want an endowment seat for the Parsis. Because it is from the funds of our community and funds from our philanthropic people like Sir Jamshedji Jijibai, the Pitets, and so many others, that this institution has come up, like Sir J.J. Medical College, Elphinstone College, VJTI. All these colleges came up from the funds of our community members. So I have already given that petition. It is in the process. I'm trying my best that at least if I get one seat everywhere, in the endowment fund seats. It will help the community for their education.
That's a wonderful step, Patrick. Wonderful.
Important prerogative which I'm fighting for in the commission.
Mihra asks, what is your opinion on the patriarchal system our religion follows? Shouldn't we lead the way and give women equal rights?
Women have equal rights. Women have more rights in the house. Ask anybody. Ask all the husband and they will say the women have more rights than.
I agree with you, sir.
So all agree.
A question from Yazdi Karai. The Pahlavi family in exile in the US appear to have embraced Zoroastrianism. The Pahlavi Shah.
Yeah, the Reza Shah Pahlavi.
How are they able to do this when it was not openly the case when the Shah ruled Iran?
I don't know. I have got no idea about all these things, that whether they have converted themselves or they are following or they are practicing. Won't be able to answer that question.
Kushnum Aibara asks, she's in Switzerland. Can we know who the 5 high priests and where are they based?
The 5 high priests the first comes from Vada, that is myself. The second oldest fire temple after Udwara will be Navsari. So it is Dasturji Keki Rauji, who was just recently appointed as the high priest of Navsari after the said demise of Dasturji Kekashru, Nauroji and Dastoor. The third and the most high priest in our community is a very learned person, Dasturji Dr. Firoz Kotwal from the Vadiaji Atashberam. I can say he is the living encyclopedia on Zoroastrian religion. He has got such a wonderful knowledge about our religion, and he's a scholar well respected not only in India but across the globe. And whenever you have discussion with Dasturji Sahib, like he will give you the proofs, the dates, the timings, and every history of how such and such incident happened. He is the most respected Dasturji Sahib, Dasturji Firoz Kotwal. He is at the age of above 80. He is from Vadiaji Atashberam. Another newly appointed Dasturji last year was from Anjuman Atashberam, Dr. Jamas Pasa. He is the son of Dr. Kekashu Jamas Pasa, who passed away last year only. And he's the 4th high priest, and one more high priest is from Surat, Dasturji Saidas Dastoor, who is the son of Dasturji Noshirwan Dastoor of Surat. So we are 5 high priests.
Sir, it's getting close to 7 o'clock. Would you have time for a couple of more questions?
Sure.
Okay. Freddie Mogrelia says that there was a recent debacle in Mumbai regarding the tunneling under the Atashberam, etc. So should we not start by chronicling all our Reet Rivaj, customs and prayers for future generations to follow and abide, especially in terms of when and what prayer is to be said and what is to be done for Navjot, Lagan, Jashan, Paida, Suthamna, etc. So that generations later, the guidelines will be there, which even the courts would follow.
The courts will not follow. But we have all these prayers, we have all these things documented. You can visit the site of avastha.org or zoroastrianism.com and you will find all the books, you will find all the prayers, you will find all the things on the net now. You will find the translation of the prayers on net. You will find Kangaji's book, you will find Dasturji Dala's book. You will find everything on the net now. So world has become very small and you can do that. But unfortunately, if you tell that the courts will follow, the courts will not follow this.
Courts will not follow. There are reports of a lot of people, particularly the Kurds, who are embracing Zoroastrianism or wish to revert to the religious heritage. Do you have any opinion on this?
there is no opinion. Like as far as concerned, we are concerned, we don't know from where they are coming, who they are coming, where is that generic this thing going. Whom it's a open this thing that we are keeping, like they are Kurds and we just accept them. It's I don't believe. Let us stay in India. Let us have our own sets. Wherever they are, they can have their own principle. As it is, people across the globe are now. You will find somewhere or the other some Navjot happening. There is some Navjot happening in Uzbekistan. Some Navjots happening in Tajikistan and all those places. Let them follow their own Zoroastrian religion, like as we are Parsis. Zoroastrianism is open for others to practice their way.
There's a request actually also over here, Dastoor Sahib. You have helped many Anjumans regarding their property matters, and we are wondering if we could get your help in reviving or perhaps getting back our Banaji Agyari at Hazrat Street.
Definitely, if you can send me.
We will forward. I'll send the papers across to you.
Yeah, you can send me the papers and everything. But the main thing, as you said, and as earlier discussion, that the person who owns this, or who is the family, who can be the trustee, that one trustee has to come and sign and appoint you all. And then all the help what you want, I will definitely come and talk to the commission, and we can solve this problem. But
perhaps we are feeling, Dasturji Sahib, that if someone like you were in the picture, and then he would perhaps listen more than he would listen to us. So
definitely,
we will send the papers to you.
I won't mind at all. I'll definitely.
We'll take it up with you. I think that's very kind of you, sir. Thank you. So, people, members of our community, Parsi, Jatostis, Calcutta Kom, on behalf of us all, Dasturji Sahib, we thank you very, very much. You've been with us for a long time now. You spent 70 minutes with us, answering a variety of questions. It's been a very, very humbling experience for us to listen to you, the words of wisdom, your knowledge, and the sheer goodwill and the good vibrations that you generate. Thank you so much for being with us, Dasturji Sahib.
Thank you. My pleasure. And blessings of Iransha to you all, wonderful people. If you don't have a chance to visit Iransha, at least just close your eyes and visualize Iransha. He will be there. He will be there to guide you. He will be there to help you. He's there in joy and sorrow. He's the friend, philosopher, and guide. He's our king. And just think of him, and he will always be there. Good luck and blessings of Iransha to you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dasturji Sahib. Ratan?
Ratan, can I leave the meeting?
Yes, you may. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you once again. Thanks, Ratan. Thanks for everything.
Thanks, everybody.
He's got his prayers, darling. He's got his prayers. He's gone.